Good evening, students. I hope that you can all hear me well. Welcome to the session in which we are going to be discussing the assignment guidelines for assignment 1 for your entrepreneurship module. So this is ENTP 6212. The assignment is out of 100 marks. It's a very nice assignment, okay? So the assignment takes the place of a report. So it's going to be in the form of a big report, a big essay question that you are going to write on, and there are specific questions that you are going to be answering in this report, okay? You are writing a report, and the instruction says that you are establishing what we refer to as a community garden, and these are in different communities across South Africa. So maybe in Port Elizabeth, you have a communal community garden. In Joburg, maybe a rural town, in Cape Town, or wherever it may be, you've got these community gardens that you are going to start up. And you're obviously going to start it firstly in your local community, and a community that is close by to you, and a community that you know will benefit such a project. So maybe you know of a community where there are a lot of school children who would benefit from a park type vibe that they are going, and then you will try and create as many of these community projects or community gardens going forward from there. Okay, so you now have to create this community garden in order for people to benefit, for the community to be uplifted, and they are going to ask you entrepreneurial questions on this community project that you want to start, okay? And you are going to write the report as a way to justify why you have decided to start these community projects and why you would want to start the community projects. So if we move on, remember just a few things, just admin things. There is a word count, 1,800 words. If you go a little bit over, please don't panic. I know it's a lot of information to try and fit into a short space of time. So please, guys, if you do go over, that really is okay. Just don't go way over. So maybe 200 words over would be acceptable. Remember to reference. So in-text reference list at the end, it's very, very important. Your word count does not include the reference list or the page numbers and the contents page, and if you've got any other information in the appendix, it does not count any of that then as well. Okay, so remember a formal structure of the report, Arial font or Times New Roman, size 12. Justify your work. We are speaking about academic writing, so we're looking at academic writing that we would have for this project. So let's get a little bit more into the first questions. You'll see the questions on the next screen is all of the questions that you will have. Okay, so the first part of our report is just the cover page, your title of your project. This report looks at this community project that you are starting, have an introduction, introduce some of the topics that you are going to be dealing with within the organization, and try and see what other important information you would want to find. Remember the introduction, the point of the introduction is to get us to want to read your report. So make it short, sweet, to the point, explain anything that needs to be explained, and try and grab our attention as we go along for the report. So once you've done your cover page with your student number, your name, date, module code, and your introduction, you can then move on to the body of the report, okay? So the body of the report is divided into these 6 sort of topics or main things that you would, main areas of information that you would have. And please, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question, please do ask. If you need to email me a question, please do. I'm more than willing to unpack this more and further in more detail with you. So the first one you're going to look at is the different types of entrepreneurs. So what type of entrepreneurs do we get? And then which one is more likely to, are you more likely to sort of associate with or sort of be associated with? So there's many different types of entrepreneurs, okay? So we've got a lot of entrepreneurial qualities, and then you'll see in chapter 1, learning unit 4, they speak about different types of entrepreneurs. We speak about franchisees, we speak about teams of entrepreneurs, we speak about women entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs. We speak about small business owners that act like entrepreneurs. So there are many different types of entrepreneurs that we would have. So you need to sort of identify with the one that associates more with you. If you feel that you align with more than one, then you are more than welcome to say that. As long as for this question, you have the theory, which is describing the type of entrepreneur. So you're going to look at each of the different types of entrepreneurs. So you're going to give the definition of the types of entrepreneurs. And then the application is going to be where you justify how you say which one of those types of entrepreneurs is best suited for you. So that would then give you your full 20 marks. Theory, defining and describing each type of entrepreneur, and then the type that best suits you would then be in your justification, your support, your application part of it. Okay. And then the second part, or the second sort of section of your body of your report, you are going to look at a discussion around the motivations and perceptions to owning a small business. So what are your motivations and what are your perceptions of owning a small business? Okay. So you'll see in your textbook from about page 18, it's quite a big section that you will deal with. It goes all the way up until about page 23. Just the top part of 23, where they speak about what motivates you to own your own business. So for 10 marks, you are going to look at these motivations, and then you're going to try and apply that again to the application. So what are some of the motivations to own a business? Is it that you want to be your own boss? Is it that you want to make a lot of money, so you want financial freedom? Is it for your own personal fulfillment or personal satisfaction? Is it, like I say, to be independent or for financial reward? So what are your motivations for starting this project? So explain each one of the motivations and then relate it to owning a small business. So how would this then relate to the case study that you've got here as well? Okay. And we look at the next question. Please, at any point, if you need help, do stop me and we can discuss it in more detail once again. So then we look at the next part, which is how do we establish integrity in the business? And the whole of chapter 2 in our textbook, when we look at where to from here, speaks about how can we establish integrity within the business. So how do we establish integrity? Integrity means good decisions for ourselves, for the environment, for the people, and the planet. Okay. So that's what integrity is. It's making these good decisions in the business. So how do we establish integrity within a business? So how do we establish this integrity within a business? What do we need to do in order to be sure that we are actually striving for integrity within a business? So we are looking at building integrity in a business. A page reference number there would be page 52 as a starting point, but again, there's so much other information that you could have and that you have for starting a business that is indeed living up to these values of integrity. So what is integrity? It means that we are operating a business honorably, honestly, openly, reliably. We are open towards people. We are transparent. We are taking care of both the people, the planet, and our profits. And we are doing all of that under this banner of integrity. So how would you establish integrity in your small business? How would you go about making sure that your business is indeed held to a high level of standards, a high level of integrity? So that would then be the 10 marks, the explanation, the application of how would you build a business with integrity. So what things would you look at in order to build a business with integrity? It also leads in to chapter 1. So there are also some factors with integrity within a business. So there are some sections that relates back that you want to have a business that is open, honest, and transparent. Okay. Then we look at the fourth section, Again, for 20 marks, so quite a big section, but it's an easy section, okay? So you are going to look at the business environments. Remember, this is applied to the community garden, and you're going to conduct a SWOT analysis on it. So you're going to look at what are the different business environments and what is the SWOT analysis. When I want to start up a business, I want to start this community garden. So how do I go about starting this business up? The first thing that we need to do is we need to do a business analysis. We need to analyze the environment in which we find ourselves in. So we're going to look at doing a business analysis, analyzing the business, seeing what we can do as part of the business. We are doing all of this to see if the business is indeed feasible. So here for this environmental analysis, we've got both the internal environment and the external environment, and then we also have the industry environment. Make sure you speak a little bit about each one of those environments. So make sure you speak about each one of those environments, and then you will conduct a SWOT analysis. Remember, what is a SWOT analysis? Strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So under each one of those SWOTs, you need at least 2 factors or pointers related to the community garden. So what are the strengths of this community project that you are doing? What are the weaknesses? What are the opportunities? And what are the threats? Okay. So for 20 marks, quite a big section. Use the theory first, define the business environment, and then do your SWOT analysis on the application part of it. The fifth part is pretty straightforward. So we look at franchising in more detail. Franchising is not a new concept. What is franchising? It's when we sell our idea to a third party and they can operate under our brand name with the same looks that we use and all that. And all you have to do for this question is to discuss in a little bit more detail the pros and the cons, the advantages and the disadvantages for franchising. So our page reference number for this is from page 101 until about page 103. And that is where we're going to find the pros and cons, the disadvantages and the advantages of franchising. Okay? So what are some of these things? List them, describe them, identify what are the advantages of franchising a business compared to the disadvantages. Okay? And then the very last question is also an easy question. Nothing too fancy for this question. We're looking at chapter 5 here, and we are looking at the succession of the business. So if anything had to happen to you as the entrepreneur, how would your business continue? Or if you ever had to sell your business, why would it then continue? So we are specifically looking at family businesses, those businesses that are passed down from generation to generation, okay? So why, if we look at that, the succession of that business is that, we are passing this business on to the next generation, to the next generation. So obviously in a situation like that, where we have people who are sort of being given this business, why is it important then for us to have good leadership? So why do we need to have good leadership within these situations? Why is it important for us to make sure that we have a good leadership as part of this thing? And again, just for page reference numbers, you are looking at page 136 as a starting point there, and it goes all the way until about 140. Sorry, that went really big there. 140. Okay. And you are looking at completing the leadership succession for a business. So why is it important to prepare family members for this career and leadership role? Remember, they are walking into this job. So obviously it's important for us to prepare them, because they may not always have the necessary skills or management required just by their birth. So just by being born into this family business, they need to be taught leadership skills. It's very important to realize that each one of those members has got their own specific talent, and that they actually need to be prepared for the succession thereof. So they need to make sure that the children are taught how to be leadership, and that the young kids, even though they are family, they're not always put into leadership roles. They need to work their way up in the community as well. Okay. Okay, so that wraps up the succession part of it. So you need to make sure that the younger generation understand what is the role of them within this business, within this family business, and how can you then make sure that the leadership is still of a high quality, that the leadership is, that there's still strong leadership. The last thing you want is to hand over a business or prepare for business succession and the new people coming into the business are not good leaders. So you need to make sure that that leadership role is still continued throughout the succession of the business. And that is the report. So those 6 items, like I mentioned, would be what is part of your report. Please, if there are any questions, let me know. Remember, the assignment is due on the 20th of September. So you've still got some time to prepare for the assignment. Yeah, good luck. Please let me know if you need anything. Remember to have a conclusion at the end of your assignment. So wrap everything up, conclude, reference list. Appendices are optional. You're not going to get extra marks for having them. You're not going to lose any marks if you don't have them. It is there if you need a graph or a diagram or any other statistics to back up what you have said. You would then use anything. Okay, so in your report or in the instructions, they say please don't add any graphs and pictures. I honestly don't mind if you do want to add some graphs and pictures. You are more than welcome to add those if you feel that they are going to enhance your report. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for listening to the recording. I will stay online if there are any further questions. If not, please send it to me via email, and I'm looking forward to getting your work in a few weeks' time. Have a great evening. Bye.